It's been a while since I first showed how to get real estate leads using REMINE data, and a lot of things have changed with REMINE along with Facebook. So in the spirit of staying current and sharing all that I've learned throughout those changes, I want to show you how to get real estate leads with REMINE this year. Let's begin. Hey, it's Jaime. If we're just meeting, welcome to the channel that brings actionable content to grow your business through online marketing. So if that sounds beneficial, consider subscribing. Question of the day, is REMINE in your market? Let me know in the comment section down below. Here we are in the REMINE dashboard where it all begins. If you haven't logged into REMINE for a while, this is going to look different to you because a lot of things have changed. And if you haven't logged into REMINE at all, then of course this is going to look foreign to you, but that's okay. So we're not going to go through all of the different tabs that we have available to us. Our goal right now is to get some data so we can start running some ads. All right, so we're going to go to take a step back. So you see this is Dallas-Fort Worth area. We're going to go up here, the North DFW side. And what we're going to do is we're going to start list stacking. So with REMINE, depending on the plan that you have, if you're on the Pro plan, you get to track 10,000 properties. If you're on any other plan, which at this point I really don't know what other plans there are, to be completely honest with you, so you're going to want to check that out. So what you're seeing here is from a Pro plan perspective. Depending on the market that you're in, the Pro plan is actually free. Again, depending on the market that you're in some markets you actually have to pay for it. But here on the MLS, NetTrust MLS, it's actually free. So that's pretty cool. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we are gonna pull some properties, i.e. owners that are gonna be most likely to sell or have better chances of selling. Of course, there are some anomalies, but with all the data in front of us, we can make some deductions. All right, so you see there's over 10,000 properties, or I moved a little bit, so many properties to track. What we're going to do is start filtering down. There's over 40,000 results on the screen right now, so we need to make that go lower. So let's go with property value. We're going to look for properties that are valued at least 400,000. So we're going to do a minimum. We're going to apply it. You're going to see that number. Maybe it won't change, but chances are that it will. All right, so it's still considerably high. As you can see, this is a high value area. So we're gonna go to home equity. We just did 400,000, and I'm gonna go with the minimum equity of 300,000. And the reason I do that is with $300,000 in equity, they're almost close to paying off a $400,000 property. But as you saw, I just did a minimum. I did minimum 400,000. So while it may be 300,000 equity, may be 75% of 400,000, when the properties that are included here that are 600,000, 800,000, it's not even 50% as the property values go higher. So I want to start with a high enough equity. As you can see, you have a good amount of results still in this particular area, so we need to condense it a bit more. We're gonna go with ownership time, even though we're gonna do 5 years in ownership time. I don't expect to see much movement here because of the amount of equity in the property value, so we're gonna continue adding some filters. Let's go with owner occupied. All right, so you see we still have a good amount of results, which is good. Building type, we're gonna go with single family. That's not gonna do much for us either. All right, what else can we do? You know what? We're gonna go with a higher equity. Let's take this home equity out and let's go with 400,000. what I'm doing right now is getting the number that you see up here to less than 10,000. And we can always zoom in, which is what I'm going to do right now. We can zoom into a pocket because we need this under 10,000 in order to track it. All right, so now that we have a good list, we're going to do what's called list stacking. So I'm going to select all of them, and I'm going to create a cart, and I'm going to put everything that I put here, I'm going to replicate in the name. So we're going to do 400K, price, 400K equity, 5, let's go 5 owner, and then we're gonna do absent, no, it's actually occupied, and then single. We're gonna add those to the cart. So we're saving this list. We're pulling all of these people's information and putting them into a bucket, putting them into a cart. Now the carts were, it's been about 6 months or so since the cart feature was introduced. So if you haven't logged in since then, it's looking a little bit different. The carts are just different presets, different places where you can warehouse your searches and keep track of them that way. It's going to take a little while to save because we are saving a lot of properties, and you see there it goes. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to download this information and then do it again. That's where the list stacking comes into play, because what we're going to do is take all of these lists and are going to upload them into Facebook, so Facebook can go out and find those individuals so we can market to them. So you're creating your own list. All right, so now that we have these saved, I'm not going to go through the rest of through anything else. I don't want to max it out because we don't need to for our purposes today. Now we're going to go to the carts. Now depending on how many carts you have, of course the results are going to vary. But here is our cart that we just created, and then this is going to populate here shortly. All right, so now that we have this information, take a look at the dashboard. You have the ability to manage your columns, or whatever you want to see in this dashboard, you can have. So if you weren't exporting it and you wanted to keep your carts kind of like what I have here and track them pretty easily, then you can do that. Now, something that you can do now or after you download is hit on status. We might need to do that twice, but what we're doing right now in status, it gives you if it's been on the MLS or is on the MLS currently. So it's going to give you expireds, it's going to give you pendings, it's going to give you options, it's going to give you active. So let me toggle it one more time. It filtered in reverse. And depending if you want to do it here or in the CSV file that you're going to download, you're going to exclude these from your list because they're already on the market or have recently been on the market. So you see here pending, expired, closed, canceled. Oh, okay. Well, we can go on to the next. You see how many tabs we have. You can delete them from here depending on how long your list is. And to delete people, all you have to do is select these and then take them to the trash can. So remove them. We're going to put delete. And the reason we're deleting them again is because they're already selling, so it doesn't make much sense for us to include them. You can if you want, but just know that that's what's happening. All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to select all of these properties and we're going to export. And you're going to export everything. So you see you have all the options there. We're going to go with 400 KP, 400 KE, 5 owner. It's going to be owner occupied, single. Oops, too much. All right, we're going to export. And now it will take a little while for this to download because you have all of this data, and what you're pulling is all of the information that is available on these owners, on these properties. It's going to give you the owner, whether it's one owner or two owner, or the entity that owns it, and it's going to give you their phone numbers if they're available. It's going to give you their emails if they're available, and you'll see that when we go through and pull the list. So at this point, while that is happening, well, actually, after it's happening, what you're going to do then is going to come back here and then move over. We'll wait till this populates. Move over and then do the same thing. So try not to double dip or pull the same information twice, because that's not gonna help you. You're gonna have their information again, and you're gonna import duplicates, so you don't want to do that. And do that again. So you see we have additional results here, and then you're going to do that again. And you can track up to 10,000 properties, and once you get to 10,000 properties, you will have to delete them in order to track again. So that's why you have to wait till they get downloaded, and then you're going to go back and delete them from the cart so you can come back and do it again. So this is that list. Once it gets through, we're going to get an alert right here, and you're going to select all of these, go here, and remove them from your cart so you can do it again. One quick favor before continuing, please be sure to hit the like button so this video's reach is magnified and others benefit. Also, don't forget to check out my free courses, link in description. All right, so our CSV is ready to go. We're going to download it. You see it right here. We're going to pull this up. And you're going to see me struggle with this because, what is this called? Sheets? No, numbers. I'm not good with numbers. I'm more of an Excel guy. So this is the only product that I don't like when it comes to a MacBook. So you're going to see me struggle through this. So let's go. All right, so what we're doing right now is you see all of the information that gets pulled. You're going to see the address, city, state, zip, lot size, square feet, equity, sales score, baths, beds, price, estimated value, zoning, absentee status if they're owner occupied. We actually put that filter in there. Mailing status, mailing city, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to go through. You're going to see owner 1, owner 2, and so on and so forth. So if there's multiple owners, they're going to show here. And if they have their information, they're going to show here as well. Now, let's see how many. We have 7,337 field or people, profiles we'll call them. We have 7,337 profiles. Now, I want to show you roughly how many emails you can expect. Less than half. So a good number has been about 50% of emails. So at least of the 7,000 that you saw here, about 50% or maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, in this case it's been less, are going to have emails. When you go to phone number, you're going to see a big difference. You're going to see that 5,400 had their phone numbers. So you're going to, historically, unless you pull a really weird list, which I haven't necessarily done in that respect, this is going to happen. You're going to have more phone numbers than emails, so it's important to get both. Now, again, I can't think of a time where it's been inverted, where there's been more emails and phone numbers, but that's okay. Facebook is going to take these characters, it's going to take these fields, and it's going to go and match them if they use either the phone number or the email that you give it. Now, you're going to notice something on the phone numbers where you're going to have a DNC and you're going to have multiple phone numbers. So, if you're watching Computer Guy that did a application for me about 8 months ago, 8 months ago, I lost your app. Please send it to me again. So there's this gentleman from the Northeast that saw my previous video and saw how much I was struggling. in doing what I'm about to do. So I'm going to add a column before, and I'm going to put new phone number just as a title. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little formula here, which I hate to call it a formula because it's not really a formula. So I'm going to put equals. I'm going to, oops, I already messed it up, see? I'm going to go left, open, parentheses, highlight the cell, comma, 10 characters. So this formula right here, again, I hesitate to call it a formula because it's not, but, well, technically it is, but it's so elementary that, anyway. So we have, what we just did is we took the first 10 characters, which you see they're broken down right here in the phone number. We're taking the first number and we're isolating it so we can import that into Facebook. So check that out. Now that's my extent of anything technical when it comes to this, what's this called? Numbers. So, and even Excel, on Excel I had the same issue. So back to that gentleman, he reached out to me and created this amazing app that whenever I imported everything that you saw here, whenever I imported it into this app, it separated everything. It gave me phone number 1, phone number 2, phone number 3. It was amazing. And I lost it. So gentlemen from the Northeast, if you're watching this, please hook me up again because this is painful. So he saw that original video and yeah, he wasn't having it. So he reached out to me, designed this app, developed this app, and it's amazing. So if he does reach out to me, or if I'm able to find his app, I'll for sure link it down below so you get the benefit as well. But that's where we're at. So back to this. Sorry, I kind of took us on a little rabbit hole there. But what we're doing here is you don't want to put all of this information into Facebook just as is. In my experience, it finds less people this way if you just go willy-nilly, if you will. It will find people. Don't mishear me. It will find people, but based off of the results, I just find that even this simple little cleanup works better. I know it's simple, I know it's rudimentary, and I know that maybe this number is actually not even the right one. Maybe it's this one. And unfortunately, these aren't ranked, or these aren't sorted based off of recency. So meaning they got this number in 2019, this one was 2016, 2009. So it's not from most recent to to the older. It's just, if they find it, they're gonna place it on there, and there's no filtering in that regard from when they were created. So just have that in the front of your mind. Now the emails, you're gonna have that information, that type of thing happening as well. You're gonna see several emails here. However, what you can do is you can just copy the entire row, delete the first one, and then leave the second one, and then go on along your ways. All right, so now that we have this ready to go, well, actually not ready to go, I want to show you the other elements that you want to adjust. Remember that this was just the owner one information. Owner one email, owner one phone number. You're going to do the same thing to the owners. That way they're as clean as possible. All right. So that's already taken care of. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to Facebook and create a custom audience. Now to get to the audiences, all you have to do is go to the toolbar, go to audiences, and you're going to be here. So I'm going to click on it again so you see how to get back to it. You're going to go to create an audience, custom audience. You're going to go to customer list. You're going to use a file that doesn't include LTV, lifetime value. There's not a value attached to the list that you have. Now look at the identifiers that Facebook allows you to import. You see that it imports email, phone number, and this is, if you have either the email or the phone number, that is perfect because Most people use an email to create a Facebook account, and then they, some of them use their phone number, or some of them use both, or have both of them on record. So if you can provide both, that is fantastic. And the rest of the fields that you can import here, the identifiers that you can import, you're going to tell Facebook the origin of the source, the data source that you have, and you have, if you've been getting information from your customers and partners, there you have the explanation of what those are, or directly from customers only. In our case, this is from a partner, so we're going to select a partner. You can download their file template, which you'll see what it looks like right here. You can download their file template and make it look exactly like this, which in the past was a necessity, but that's no longer the case. Now, what you can do is you can put Command A, which is going to be Control A for you if you're on a PC, and then C, so you're going to copy all this information and go to copy and paste. It is so much easier now. In the past, you did have to go through the file and make sure that the headers were in perfect, pristine order, but that's no longer the case. So you saw that I did very little cleanup on the file, which you will want to do some more cleanup on your end, so you capture as many profiles as possible with that phone number and that email being separate along with the other owner. But for our purposes today, this is going to work. All right, so what was this? This was this. We're not going to rename it. I just need that so I can copy it. All right. Let me move myself. We're going to go to next. Now we get to identify. I'll move myself over here. Now we get to identify, what is this? All right. Do not upload is going to be the default for most of these because it's not finding an identifiable identifier on Facebook that it'll import. Remember, you can do an email, phone number, mobile advertiser ID, first name, last name, zip, city, state, country, date of birth, year of birth, gender, age, and then the IDs from Facebook. All of this says address, it won't take it. We need the city. So here, you're going to see the city. This is a city. This is a state. This is a zip. Now, what we're filling in right now is this right here. The address of the property. We selected owner occupant. Had we not done that, this would be different. So if we had selected, as an example, owner non-occupant, then we would be using this, because this is their mailing address where they have their mail going to, because that would be different than the address of the property. So since we have owner occupant, I feel comfortable using this. All right, so let's go to the lot size. That's not importable. That one you can't do. Equity, nope. Baths, beds, nope. Estimated, zoning, absentee status, mailing address. So there's that mailing address. Then you would be, if you were targeting people that were not living in the property, so non-owner occupant, then you would select that, but that's not the case here. And then we go to the, where is it? You're going to go to the first name, and then you're going to go to the last name. It did pick up the phone number, so we got that right. And we're going to go ahead and include the email. I know that there's going to be some duplicates, which when I let slide, ideally I want you to separate those. But you saw how much I struggled with numbers that we're not going to do that on 7,000 fields. Now, a common question that has come up since then is, well, what do I do with owner 1 and owner 2? Well, you're going to upload them again, but in a different upload. You're going to upload them pretty much the same up until where it has their name, the other person's name. So up until here, you wouldn't select owner 1 and owner 1 first name and owner 1 last name. You would skip down and then do owner first name and owner last name. So it's 2 uploads. That way, if Facebook can't find owner 1 and it can find owner 2, then you haven't lost the opportunity to market to that property. All right, so that's everything that we have. So we have city, states. We should have 7, and there we go. City, states, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Upload and create. And we have all of these rows ready to go. So we're going to go to done. Now we're going to create an ad. Now we're at the ads manager, and we're going to breeze through this to show you where to get that list, or where to recall that list that we just uploaded. So we're going to do housing. We're going to do a traffic ad. We're going to continue. Again, we're going to go through the bare bones on how to create a Facebook ad. There are a lot of other videos in this channel that'll show you the ad copy. Well, targeting you won't necessarily need because you already have here, but most importantly, it'll have the ad copy, split testing, how to create conversions, and all that fun stuff. So I invite you to check out those videos, and I'll link a few of the major ones that I think will go amazing with this particular video. So be sure to check those out. We're not going to worry about that, but where you call that audience back is through here. You see the add a previously created custom audience. So there's that audience that we just created, and the estimated daily reach, that's going to be wrong. 100% out, well, 100 out of 100, which is going to be 100%. Don't worry about the estimated daily results. But this also will highlight something else. You want to list stack as many times as possible. You want to maximize that 10,000, import it into your CSV, maximize 10,000 more, import it again, and keep doing that. Provide as much data as possible so Facebook is able to find as many profiles as possible. Although again, this is going to be wrong, and how you're going to find that this is wrong is when you're running the ads. There are 2 columns in your reports. There's going to be one that is impression based. It's going to be how many times it's been shown, and then the reach. That reach column means the amount of people that saw your ad. So that's how you're going to be able to test, hey, is this working or not? Is it even reaching somebody? Well, that's going to be a good indicator that it is. And then the rest of it, you can go to your you can go to a specific area, although it's not as important, but you do want to be a little generous with your findings. Even though you found that information there, you do want to be generous, especially anytime you create a custom audience. You want to be as flexible when it comes to the retargeting as possible, because you're asking a lot from a system. You're asking a lot from Facebook to be able to find those properties and find those people, and have them be there. All right, so we have automatic placements. In this case, I do suggest that you leave automatic placements. It's a form of retargeting because you are so dialed in with your audience. And then the daily budget, I like to see results as quickly as possible. So for this particular size, $20 is appropriate. So we're going to continue. And then what we have here is the ad side, the ad where you actually create the ad copy. You would go through here and select the type of campaign that you want to, the type of format that you want to have in your campaign, whether that's a carousel ad, single image, or an assortment of images. You would select well, let's go with single image so you see it. You select an image right there. You would just add the image. Put the primary text, which is going to go above. We'll do that so you see what it looks like right there. You're going to put primary text, the headline, the description, and then put the website or the landing page that you're driving the traffic to. Well, that's how you get real estate leads using REMINE. If you found value in this video, please be sure to subscribe so we can talk again soon.